Welcome back to Living 808. Eden in Love is a local boutique specializing in women's apparel, accessories, and home decor. Now, 5 years ago, this boutique adopted a village in Sri Lanka, and thanks to their support, lives are changing for the better. Here to tell us more, Tana Dang, owner of Eden in Love, and Jeff Power, who is with Global Hope Network International. Hello, thank you both for joining us.
Hi, Trini.
Great to be here.
Okay, let's start with you, Tana.
Okay.
Why did you adopt a village in Sri Lanka?
You know, in 2012, we won this National Retail Federation contest called This Is Retail. And we committed to ourselves that if we won first place, that we would donate all the money internationally. We wanted something big because we could. We wanted to. We just didn't know where to go, where to start, what to do. But we knew we wanted to go internationally. So once we won, thanks to everyone in Hawaii, we contacted Global Hope. And we said, we want to know more about adopting a village. Actually, if I go back a little bit, my first thought was, I'm going to contact Global Hope and say, I want to just put in a well somewhere in maybe Africa, because that's what Madonna does. That's what celebrities do. And talking with someone like Jeff,
of fresh water.
Exactly. But talking with someone like Jeff, you realize you don't want to just put a huge piece of expensive equipment or machinery in this village that doesn't know how to maintain it or upkeep it. So he taught me a lot about transformational community development, which is really what Global Hope does. And we found Sri Lanka. We found this village we love. We went there. There were 7 of us that actually went there in 2012. And it's been radical, the changes that they've made in the last 5 years. Radical.
Okay, that is so inspiring that you've done this, right? Of course, with this wonderful partner. So tell us what you guys did in the village. Sure.
Well, we say that our approach to helping villages is coaching-based, not donation-based. Because in the history of helping the world, throwing lots of donations at things actually in the long run sets it backwards, because it creates a whole mentality of needing a lot of outside money. So our whole process is to hire really smart local people who know how to coach a village slowly over 5 years, how to solve most of their own problems. So that's why these guys jumped on board for 5 years and said, oh my gosh, we would love to help a village learn how to lift itself out of poverty.
So we're looking at some video here, but tell me what the village looked like for you, Tana, when you went to visit it in 2012.
Okay.
And maybe you can tell us exactly what changes were made.
You know, when you think about 2012, I had no idea what to expect, first of all. In fact, when we landed in Sri Lanka, we were talking about it last night, we were kind of laughing. I said, I thought I was getting punked, because there was 7 of us that went there. We never met. I had all this money that went into travel and going to this village that I've never heard of. We had 2 contacts in Sri Lanka that I've never met before, but I put so much trust into this because I wanted to do this so badly. Then we landed, and you're in a completely foreign airport with no one that looks like you're from Hawaii, no one that can speak English, and it was scary. And that thought of, what are we doing here? What do we get ourselves into? And then I saw Jeff. I turned the corner and I was like, oh my gosh, there's my American friend. So I'm definitely gonna make the most out of this experience. And they guided us the whole time, and we drove about 4 hours to get to our village, up this hillside in a very small, rickety vehicle, and there was a lot of turns, and everyone felt sick, and it was super hot. There was no air conditioning. And we got there, it was amazing to see the people. They were so excited. The kids were so excited, but really, it was a poor village. It's very poor.
Very poor.
There's no toilets. There was very bare, primitive electricity. There's about 15 houses in this block, and there were several blocks of homes, but these are 10 by 10 homes that people are living in. There's probably about 4, 8, sometimes even 10 people that are living in there. So conditions, very minimal, but the people were so nice and so loving and just so happy. So seeing that, I think, was huge for us. And then now seeing from the last day that we were there in the village, the water was the first thing that we really were able to help them implement. The water itself was filthy, dirty, leeches in the water. I mean, animal waste was in the water, and they were drinking it. They were bathing with it. They were cooking with it. They were washing their dishes with it. So in the very first 3 days that we were there, we were helping them not put in a well, not expensive well, but Celeste, who is our contact in Sri Lanka, helped us find these pipes, and he was an engineer, so we're able to have the villagers dig, lay the pipes, and now they have this beautiful reservoir system, that there's a catchment system that goes down right into the village, and they have high pressure water in their schools and all the homes. And that's huge.
This is huge. This is so incredible, because it sounds like it was super rewarding for you, right? But also, I like what you said. It's kind of like teaching people to fish rather than just giving them,
exactly what you said.
you know, so that, you know, when the money stops, or if it stops or whatever, they know they've gained the skills, the education to sustain it, right? And
that's our whole approach, that at the end of the 5 years, they just keep going. If they want to become the next Honolulu, they can do that. But if they want to stay a small village and just keep getting better and better, it's their choice.
Congratulations to
Thank
both of
you.
you. This is incredible. So it was a 5-year commitment, which ended in 2017, I believe.
Yes.
But I'm hoping that this story inspires other people who may be watching other businesses to give back. I mean, is there a way for them to do that? Should they just contact you, Jeff?
Our whole model is to connect businesses, churches, synagogues, Rotary clubs, or whatever, with specific villages. And the village sends them a monthly update with pictures and stories and says, here's what we're learning, here's how we're changing. So instead of just giving money anonymously to world poverty, it's like we can help some specific global neighbors.
You know
great.
exactly
So contact
where
us
it's going.
through ghni.org. That's our, and founded by Hawaiians.
We'll have that information on our website. But so you guys raise the money by people shopping at your store.
Yes.
We're almost out of time, but I just wanna,
know.
I know you want to thank all your shoppers.
I do. I think that's the main thing that I really want to make sure everyone knows, that Eden and Love, we're not the ones that donated for 5 years. It was our shoppers. It was through donations. It was through products that they purchased and a certain amount went there. It was Aina Haina School partnered with us and they donated everything from their book fair, like 10%. It was incredible. It was really the people of Hawaii that did it. So I just want to thank everyone in Hawaii. I mean, Hawaii is amazing how we pulled together to create impact and change lives in Sri Lanka.
And I have to tell you, I've shopped at your store, and I love it. So it's not a big sacrifice to shop there. But you've got your 2 locations. Remind everybody where you are.
I do. We have one in South Shore Market, and we have one in International Marketplace, and we just opened Las Vegas last year, too.
Ah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to know.
Yep.
I'll be going there soon. All right, so please continue to shop at Eden and Love.
Thank you,
Support this
Trini.
wonderful
Thank you.
boutique that is helping to give back around the world. And hopefully we'll get some more people your way, Jeff.
Great to join you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Coming up on Living 808 in today's Money Matters segment.